made it through the winter, layered hundreds of times over in snow. Brown and frail like wasp wings, crinkled photosynthesized taffeta. Shells for chlorophyll, empty veins and embellishment of ghost town charm. And my knees, weak with love lust, for this fistful of pity I picked up.
Quick, quick, you're not being civilized, and I'm afraid you are thinking in birds again. Birds, which are not gems or flowers or handkerchiefs tucked into back pockets. There is no Rosetta Stone here unless we split open their bellies and watch which way the entrails fall. No, you would not stand for that. Not when we have to stop to bury every sparrow that flew full speed into a closed window. Their tiny necks yield like pulp when pressed between my fingers. They all find peace in shallow graves you dig with a cross made of sticks at their heads. You say the Lord's Prayer for each one, sometimes in words so I can follow, but mostly you speak as you think, in birds. Hawk kestrel, red lark quail robin, eagle crane moon stork, crow magpie swan.
We were a blanket once, comprised of the same elements, sulfur, osmium, tin, one on top of one, fingers woven tight. I could hum inside your ear, which was the bear's womb, the spinneret of the spider, and Aunt Matita of the fly, stuck to the frog's tongue, pulled inside his mouth. We slept in piles, slowly stitched together by double helixes, as helicase wraps and rewraps the outline of my grandmother's smile, while our hands carved the ocean. Now, looking at you with eyes I call mine, you say words from lips I remember. I want to press my palm to yours. Let us dig our feet into the sand, melt our consciousness into the precipice of collective thought. Listen to the rotting tomato with words sharper than mine talk about his love affair with the dragonfly and the girl with too big a heart. He talks about shifting plate tectonics, the way the earth spins counterclockwise to the sun, how it is impossible not to change because we are already somewhere else, feelings shifted, moon to the left. What we could know if we remembered being rocks, how we exploded from the sun. Would you change if I whispered under blankets, touching the small of your back? I think your face eroded from the Nile.
The house is empty and cold. I sit alone drinking Bushmills whiskey out of a porous ceramic cup. The lights off, dusk bleeding into the house through the blinds. The bottle was hidden at the back of a cabinet in the kitchen of my aunt's farmhouse. I'd waited all night and most of the morning for my aunt to leave her home so I could be alone with the bottle, to be alone, period. 12 months in the desert, silence and solitude unattainable. Always the sound of a gasoline generator turning, idling, the infinite buzz of 50-cycle electric current, every make and manner of military vehicle, their engines, the noise of their wheels upon the sand and asphalt. The wind, even when so, came grinding and heavy with the sand. Through the noise, I listened for the war and waited, but heard nothing and know nothing. And now, quiet. The house empty, I turn the thermostat down to keep cool. I sit upright, uncomfortable in the only chair I'm able to drag to the back window. I get heat from the whiskey, all the heat I want. I drink, staring out at the snow that glistens in the red of twilight. There's a hare in the backyard. His eyes are closed. It is motionless. The wind blows, moving the hare's left ear, and it is set upon by a stoat, vicious and graceful. Whatever blood there is, I cannot see under the reddening of dusk. I sit, long after dark, drunk, watching at the spot where the hare fell, and thinking that
couldn't ride that day because we came too late, but we could take pictures of their trunks, while children dressed as gods dance indigo under no shade, for rupees and some adoration. They liked the French the best, I think for their smiles, but American meant money, meant cupped palms, and bells on stomping feet, even missing limbs, and practically no teeth. But we guarded our purses and turned off the flash. Can't take our money out in public. It's too risky and unfair to dole out sympathy in bills with Gandhi's benevolence on both sides. Instead, we snuck pictures and hurried our feet faster, faster up the hill, into delicious shade, and fanned our faces with palm leaves.
Let me take you on a ride through a life that ended too early. It happens often, but we talk about it barely. I know a boy named Sean whose story is unforgettable, would do whatever it takes to get misery out of his soul. First, let me tell you the part most people don't even know. Sean loves music and loves to write poems. He would write 2 poems a day and couldn't wait to show them. But then again, he doesn't, because people will always put him down and laugh at him every time he comes around. Now Sean knows people's opinions shouldn't mean a thing, but criticism every day makes him lose faith in his dream. And I'm so mad because Sean doesn't even know. Just because they rain on the parade doesn't mean you have to stop the show. Throughout his whole life, he's always wanted to be something, but his major fear is growing up to be a nothing. He feels he can't tell his mom nothing because she just won't understand. Doesn't have a father around, so he's got to find a way to be a man. Wakes up every morning regretting each day. Doesn't talk no more because nobody cares what he has to say. He's so tall, but he feels so small. Tired of going to school because he's tired of getting dogged. Looking for some love or some kind of healing. Living in a world where people don't even care about your feelings. So Sean found a solution to feeling like a bum. He went ahead and got himself a gun. He figured the only way to take the pain out is to take a gun and blow his brains out. Now his mom is crying because she won't see her boy turn into a man. But the sad part is,
your hands were the first thing that ever touched mine. Softer than a white silk blanket from the cherry blossom cream you rub on every morning. Your hands wrapped around mine and embraced them with warmth and kindness every time a tear fell from my eye. Your hands rubbed my back until I fell asleep in your arms. They pulled a shirt over my little head each morning until I was old enough to do it myself. Your hands baked cookies, created shimmering sandcastles, and made licorice necklaces with me. They picked me up off the ground and wiped my face with a warm washcloth after hours of playing in sandboxes and eating chocolate chip cookies. Your hands reach out for me now, grasping at anything they can to pull me back into my childhood.
She's an early riser, walking the hills that separate. Down the road, she sets up her stand and sits down to wait. He's up with the beep of the propane truck, an apartment down the street. Pressed suit and wingtips, he has no time for the meek. The exchange is quick and cold. He glanced her way just once. Division is strong. The valleys are deep. The mountains ever higher. They're kept apart, inside their worlds. No love to start a fire.
I am Sarah Foley, descendant of Julie and Mike, self-proclaimed smarty pants, and all-around academic ace. Taster of tomes, manuscript muncher, pseudo-intellectual, romantic writer, creative cool kid, artist of many mediums, strong speaking, clear chords of steel, belligerent blonde, but can be caring when situations signal, silly, laugh starter, tough to transform, my standards solid, Sonata supporter, I am Sarah Foley.